Hey there, it's Jenna from the Intern Hustle, and I'm an introvert. Why does that matter? Well, because in this video, I'm giving actionable internship advice for my fellow introverts. If that's you, then hit that like button and get ready to take some notes. And if you're an extrovert, I encourage you to stick around and see what you can take away from this video too. And whether you identify as an introvert or an extrovert or somewhere in the middle, help me out by hitting subscribe and tapping that notification bell, and let's do this. What does being introverted mean? I think a lot of people confuse being shy or having imposter syndrome or fear of judgment from others with being introverted. But being an introvert or an extrovert is more about where you derive your energy from and how you prefer to work. A lot of students and recent grads I talk to have a lot of those feelings of imposter syndrome because entering the professional workplace for the first time is a big unknown. And as humans, we do typically care what other people think of us. Before I get into my advice for introverts, I want to just start by saying that if this is you, if you're a student who feels this way, understand that it's normal. I've been there as a student and an intern. I've been there with each corporate job that I've walked into, and I'm still experiencing these feelings as an entrepreneur. Imposter syndrome never really goes away. You just get better at managing it over time. I have a lot of videos that speak to this on my channel, and I will link to them in the description below. But now, on to this video's topic, my internship advice for introverts. First thing to understand is that you fit somewhere on the introvert-extrovert spectrum. You may identify with some of the things I'm sharing in this video more than others, and that is okay. Both introverts and extroverts can take on many different forms. For example, as I stated at the beginning of this video, I'm an introvert. However, I often identify as an outgoing introvert, meaning I draw my energy from being alone with the ability to recharge and reflect, and I tend to think before I speak, which those are just a couple of the reasons why I know I'm an introvert. But at the same time, I have moments where I really like to be the center of attention. Yep, I just admitted that to the world. But it's true. Ever since I was a little girl, I've enjoyed performing. And I was a cheerleader at Ohio State, which is a pretty big stage. But really, a lot of the outgoing parts of my personality have come from me taking small, consistent steps outside of my comfort zone over the years. Not because I'm trying to turn myself into an extrovert or someone who I'm not. I'm quite content with my introverted ways, but because I value a growth mindset. And whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you should always find ways to step outside of your comfort zone and grow. So let's talk about that in the context of internships. How can you, as an introvert, show up to your internship favoring a step outside of your comfort zone growth mindset, add value in your own unique way, and be recognized for it all while staying true to yourself in the process? My first piece of advice is to recognize that as an introvert, you probably have a tendency to observe first and speak or react second. Use this to your advantage. Learn as much as you can through your observations. Always be learning. Do research based on what you've observed and identify small solutions or ways to make processes more efficient. Doing so allows you to contribute in a meaningful way, and it can have a lasting impact on the company long after your time as an intern. Strategic value is how you can stand out. So really tap into your strength to observe and listen as an introvert and thoughtfully create from what you learn. Observation also lends to a sense of awareness. As an introvert, you likely have some empathetic characteristics. This makes one-on-one interactions a great way for you to build relationships with people and feel connected at your internship. Get to know people one-on-one in a personal way. Ask to join them over lunch or schedule a coffee chat over Zoom and engage in conversation with them by asking thoughtful questions about what they're interested in or how they got into their career path or what are some of their biggest challenges at work and how do they think that you can add value as an intern. Setting yourself up with these one-on-one connections will help the more social group gatherings feel less overwhelming because you're already establishing relationships with a number of people at your internship. So don't shy away from social interactions altogether. Just make a point to connect with a few new people one-on-one each week during your internship. Another way to feel more comfortable at your internship is to show up prepared. You're more likely to speak up in a meeting if you feel like you have something to say. And if you take the time to research and prepare for the meeting topics, you're a lot more likely to have something productive to say. You won't feel as if you're put on the spot if called upon for your opinion because you've already taken the time to form an opinion on the matter. I personally don't like to speak up unless I feel like I have something meaningful to say. But I've learned over the years to do my homework and prepare in advance so that I can come to the table confident and with something to contribute to the conversation. So whenever you can, ask for the meeting agenda in advance. Employers will appreciate you taking initiative and your desire to prepare, and you're gonna feel a lot more confident contributing. And when you do speak up, Speak with confidence. You don't have to be the loudest in the room to come off as confident, but you do have to speak with conviction. Have an opinion. Find your voice. Claim your wins. And you can talk about wins without coming across as arrogant. And as an introvert, it's important that you do highlight wins. You have to be your own biggest advocate, or you're going to get lost in the noise of all of the extroverts out there who have no problem talking about their success. Boost your visibility as an intern by speaking with confidence about your contributions. You can also practice using your voice on platforms like LinkedIn. Create thoughtful content and engage with other people's content, and just start joining the conversation. You'll become more confident and clear in your opinion by doing so. Just remember, clarity and confidence come from action, not thought. Maximize your output by putting yourself in your best zone of stimulation. If you prefer working independently, then carve out the time to do so. Don't completely remove yourself from collaboration with others, but if you need to take a step back from a group setting to put your head down and just produce some quality work, then take that time for yourself. Personally, some of my best work comes from when I unplug altogether. I like to go on a walk to clear my head, and I've been known to go on solo vacations to the mountains in order to recalibrate. Just make sure you strike a balance. As I mentioned in the last point, it's important that you stay visible throughout your internship. You don't want to miss out on opportunities and relationships because you're someone who avoids group environments at all costs. And as it turns out, introverts tend to make great leaders. So one way that you can get involved and collaborate with others is by offering to take lead on a project at your internship. This gives you a little more control over the group work environment and the visibility that you want to have with the company. If you want to dive into this even more and better understand introverts and how you can play to your own strengths as an introvert, I encourage you to check out a book by author Susan Cain called Quiet: The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. I'll link to it in the description below this video. But to recap, as you head into your internship, if you're an introvert, try to focus on these things. Using your strengths in listening and observing to create work with strategic value that solves a problem, creates efficiencies, and has long-term impact. Make a point to connect with people one-on-one in order to build relationships and lessen the feeling of overwhelm in group settings. Prepare for meetings by asking for the agenda in advance so that you can show up thoughtfully and contribute to the conversation without feeling like you're being put on the spot. Find your voice and speak with conviction to demonstrate confidence and boost your visibility. And strike an appropriate balance, but be sure to give yourself time to work in your best zone of stimulation. If you can produce better results when working independently, then be sure to carve out opportunities to honor that and let the quality of your work speak for itself. Go ahead and add questions that you have on this topic to the comments below, and join thousands of students from around the world who receive the Intern Hustle's weekly newsletter by signing up at theinternhustle.com. I will share the link in the description below as well. Good luck at your internship. Remember, extroverts get nervous too, and introverts can be bold. You've got this. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you some new insights today, please give it a like and share it with a friend or two. Hit that red subscribe button and bell below so that you don't miss out on future videos. In support of your hustle, I'm Jenna from theinternhustle.com, and I'll see you next Monday.